and gentlemen, let's get ready to... No, I'm just kidding. Hey, I want to thank you guys for stopping by my channel, Pay Yourself Back. I am your host, T-Los. And since I moved to South Florida, I've just had a blast just going around exploring Florida. And that's the whole point in paying yourself back. You know, getting out, enjoying life, throwing caution to the wind, and being spiritually well at the same time, guys. Listen, I get a lot of people who ask me, what kind of cameras do you use to make your YouTube videos? So that's what I'm going to do in this video, guys. I'm going to share with you the type of cameras that I use, and also I'm going to share with you the gear that I use as well. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. I'm going to go over some cameras. I have a lot of cameras I've bought over the years, just kind of trial and error. But what you're seeing me on right now is my all-time favorite, the Canon M50. This is a mirrorless camera. It has a flip out screen, and I'm going to show you the difference between the screens, and I'm going to show you why it's important for you to have a camera with a screen, just in my opinion. I have a lot of different cameras. I have evolved over time. Some of it's trial and error, but let me just start out with this camera right here. This is the Canon M3. This is a mirrorless camera, has a flip up screen. I always get that. This camera right here, I used to use all the time. This is a really nice camera. I am very partial to Canon. Now the difference with this camera, guys, is that it has a flip up screen versus a flip out screen that you see with the M50. Now, at first, this was okay. The only problem is once you get a little bit more advanced as a YouTuber, not saying that I'm all that, but the flip up screen, if you ever want to mount a microphone, an external microphone up here, it's going to obstruct your vision from this screen right here. Or if you want to mount like a light, you're out, say you're out at night or something, you're making a video, and then it's going to also obstruct this, so you're not going to be able to see yourself. So that's the difference between a flip up screen and a flip out screen. So those are my two mirrorless cameras that I use. So I also have the big boy here. I have the DSLR, the Canon T5i. And if you're wondering what DSLR means, it's digital single lens reflex. It also has a flip out screen. This is an LCD screen. I don't use this camera a lot to vlog. It is a pretty big camera. It is a full frame camera. If you're doing this, you know, for 10 or 15, 20 minutes, it gets a little bit heavy. I use this camera for photography. I'm also like a little amateur photographer, don't tell anybody. And or if I'm going doing fashion shows, or if I'm just going doing nature shots and stuff like that, I'll use this camera. It's a great camera by Canon. Now, I also have 3 action cams that I use. This is the GoPro Hero 6 Black. Has a screen on the back here. It does not have an external microphone jack, and I'm explaining to you why having a microphone is very important in just a second here, guys. This is the 4K camera. The thing about this camera that I have a problem with sometimes is that it freezes up from time to time. So it's inconvenient for you to be doing a video that you think is you're talking, and then the camera is actually frozen. And the only way that you can basically unfreeze it is that you take the battery out. Otherwise, this is a pretty good camera. Also use this camera right here, which is a DJI OSMO Action, guys. It also has a screen. This is a 4K camera as well. Doesn't freeze up, but in my honest opinion, the difference between the DJI Osmo and the GoPro Hero 6 is that the picture quality on the GoPro is a little bit better than the DJI Osmo. And I use this in 4K, and I use the GoPro Hero 6 in 1080p, and the picture quality is still better. Now, the good thing about this camera is that it also has a front-facing screen right there. So you'll be able to see yourself and know that you are in the frame. So that's a plus with this camera. I haven't had any problems. This is a pretty new camera to me. And I use multiple cameras, guys, because I do different things, especially my ride along videos. When I have to mount these cameras on a suction mount on different areas of my car. If you guys have watched my ride along videos, you see different angles in the video, and I mount those cameras. Sometimes I might put one on the bumper, on the window, front, rear, quarter panels, and things like that. I have multiple cameras for that reason. But my go-to camera, guys, is right here. This is the Sony FDR-X3000 action cam right here. I love this camera. I love the setup that it has, guys. And it also has a external microphone jack. So this works perfectly with my Rode VideoMicro external microphone here. My selfie stick. I love this camera, guys. It is a 4K camera and it doesn't have a screen. However, you can purchase what is called the Live View Remote Kit. It is the RM-LV R2, and bada bam, bada boom, there you go. You have a screen now that you're able to see whatever you're videoing, or you can see yourself as well. The only downside to using any of these little action cams here, guys, is that they don't do well in low light. So keep that in mind. In bright light, especially here in Florida, you have no problem. The picture will be beautiful. But in low light conditions, when it starts to get a little dark or dusk, the video quality is going to suffer. And that's with any action cam. It doesn't matter if you paid $100 for it or if you paid $1,000 for it. It's going to all be the same because the sensor and the lens in there is only so big. So it's only going to allow so much light to come in. And so you know, that's just something that you have to deal with. So it's very important to have good audio quality, and I will tell you why. Most people will probably watch your video if the video quality is subpar or decent, but most people will not watch your video if they can't hear you clearly. It's just my honest opinion about that. If you couldn't hear me, even though the picture quality is great, if you couldn't hear me talking, or if I'm low or my voice is muffled, you're most likely you're not going to tune into the video. That's just the way I see it, guys. So keep that in mind as well. Now let's talk about external microphones that I use. I use 2 external microphones. The one that you hear me on right now is the Rode Wireless Go. It is a wireless microphone set and it works flawlessly, guys. I've had no problems at all with it. I use a lapel mic, which I have right here when I'm doing my videos, like when I'm at my studio or something like that. And then when I'm just out and about, you'll notice that I have a transmitter. And also, here we go again, guys. This right here, this is the Rode VideoMicro. This is an external microphone that I use with my Sony. Now, the reason why I like these action cams to vlog with is because they have an internal image stabilization built into the camera. So you don't have to worry about your video being jittery when you're walking or running. They have image stabilization and it is built in. However, with my mirrorless cameras, my M50, my M3, any of these cameras, what I use sometimes is I'll use a stabilizer or a gimbal. This is a 3-axis gimbal. This is the Photech G6. I use this gimbal right here to mount my camera. So people sometimes, when they see you with a camera and you have a gimbal, you know, they're like, they don't want to be on camera. You know, I've had people tell me, you know, I don't, you know, can you cut that camera off? I don't want to be on. Sometimes people freak out. But when you have these little action cams like this, I mean, you have them on a selfie stick, you know, I think they're more acceptable with a lot of people who are camera shy or don't want to be on the video for whatever reason. You know, sometimes you might have some shady people out there, might have some warrants out there, you know, so they don't want to be in the video and expose themselves, you know what I'm saying? Gorilla Pod. This Gorilla Pod, you basically mount your camera on here. This is more like for an action cam, I would say. Although you can probably use it for a mirrorless camera, I think it's more or less for an action cam. I mean, if you want to try to capture something, do a video, and you want to mount this on a tree, or you want to mount it on you know, whatever the case may be, it's good for that. These legs do come off, they do detach from the pod itself, so you can mount it and place it wherever you want to. Now, just a little bit of a bonus for you guys, I also, from time to time, I have what you call the PARROT 2 teleprompter. And sometimes I use the teleprompter when I have a whole lot to say and I can't remember what I'm going to say. So this thing works flawless. It has an app that you download on your phone, which basically you write whatever you want to say in the video, and then it'll display whatever you want to say on the screen. And it has a scroll speed. You can speed it up, you can slow it down, you can set it to the way that you want it. And so I use this from time to time as well. Let's talk about lighting. When I'm in my little makeshift studio, which I'm in right now, guys, I use 2 softbox lights. They're Limo Studio. I've been had these things for about 4 years, and they have stood the test of time through thick and thin, and I use them. I'm using them right now. So in a nutshell, guys, that's basically it. That's the equipment and the cameras that I use to make my YouTube videos. It's always better to have and not need than to need and not have, if you know what I mean. And so I really appreciate you guys tuning in to Pay Yourself Back. Hit that subscribe button, because I noticed in my YouTube analytics that a lot of people watch my videos, but they don't subscribe. You guys got to subscribe. So for everybody who is watching this video, hit that subscribe button. I work 10 hours a day, guys, so I post a video once a week. Because of that, I don't have a lot of time to do videos during the week, so I try to do most of my videos on the weekend, and I post every week, usually on a Tuesday. So look out for those videos, guys. Hopefully once everything starts to open back up, I can get out there a little bit more, start doing more videos and really doing what I like, because right now 2020 has been a disaster. And so let's just hope and keep our fingers crossed that things will get better in the near future. And so like the video, guys. Once again, subscribe, share the video, and until next time, be well, my friend. CeeLos out, baby. Yo, 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 yo.